Friends, welcome to the book of Yishayahu, Isaiah, Parakhet, chapter 8, where we continue with the geopolitical earthquake happening in Jerusalem. Remember, at the time, if you're living in Jerusalem, the kingdom of Judea, you are threatened not by one kingdom, but by two kingdoms. Both the kingdom of Aram in Syria, Damascus, are coming, Ritzin, the king of Aram, and you also have Pekach ben Remaliah, the king of Israel, both ganging up on you to war. What's your hope if you're living in Jerusalem at the time? Who's going to help you? Well, you're thinking, who's my bigger brother, not bigger brother, but a bigger empire that can help me at this situation? That would be Assyria. But you'll see there's some major warnings about trying to rely on Assyria. So let's dive right into it. Parak Chet Pasuk Aleph. Vayomer Hashem elai kach lecha gidlayon gadol. Hashem says to me, take for yourself a large piece of parchment and Megillah, and write on it, uchtov alav becheret enosh, write on it in a fashion that can be easily read and quickly. Lemaher shalal chashbaz, to quickly warn you that guess who's coming to town to take plunder and take the spoils all away from Israel, from the 10 tribes. It is Sancheriv, the king of Ashur. So Lemaher Shalal Chash Baz. Shalal is spoils, Chash is Maher, Baz. Chash means quickly, and Baz is to take spoil, to loot. And so that's what's going to happen. He's letting them know, guess who's coming? Assyria is coming. And who is going to testify that this is about to happen? He takes two witnesses because he's about to have a kid that he's going to name Maher Chashbaz. By the way, it's the same kid we saw in last chapter, also called Emmanuel, because Hashem is going to protect Judea. I will get true witnesses at Uriah HaKohen. I will get Uriah HaKohen, who was later killed by King Yoakim, and Zechariah ben Yeverchayah, which is the famous prophet Zechariah. Take these two witnesses, and now that you let them know that for sure what's going to happen is Assyria is going to come and destroy Israel, put that name to your child. Isaiah has a child with his wife, who is referred to as a nevi'ah, a prophetess. I don't know if she was actually a prophet, or it's more like a rebbitzin, that she gets the title because of her husband. Vateled ben, she has a baby boy, which she names Emmanuel. Vayomer Hashem elai krashmo maher shlal chashbaz. 4 names. Call this child that you had with your wife Maher Shalal Chashbaz. Interesting name to have. Quickly, the spoils will be plundered. That is the name. The idea is let people know that the time of Israel is counted. And we saw when we named this child Emmanuel that he's going to know a lot of beautiful things when he's young. Well, here it's not going to be so easy. Before this child could even say mom and dad, before he could, the kid's first words are usually, mom, dad, abba, ima, whatever it is. Before he can even do that, the spoils and the property of the 10 tribes and of the king of Aram are going to be swept up by the king of Assyria, the king of Ashur. Vayosef Hashem daber alai od lemor. Hashem adds and talks to me more, and he says, look, there are people here in Judea that are not happy with their king. Inside, not only do we have a Judea with attacks from the 10 tribes in the north and from Aram, Damascus, within Judea, there are people who are secessionists. They want to secede. They want to be part of the kingdom of Israel. And so Hashem says, Yan ki ma'as ha'am hazeh tmei hashiloach ha'olchim le'at, since the people here in Jerusalem, some of them, have rejected the slow-running waters of the Shiloach spring. If you ever went hiking in the city of David, you saw what the Shiloach spring looks like, the cold water at your feet. It doesn't go so fast. There isn't a huge amount of water there. Who do they want in Jerusalem? Some people want Ritzin, the king of Aram, and they want Ben Remaliah, the king of Israel. So that's not a good thing. Velachen, to those people I say, Hine Hashem ma'aleh, pasuk zayin. Velachen, Hine Hashem ma'aleh aleihem et mei hana'ar ha'atzumim ve'harabim. God is bringing on them the waters of the river. They are great. They are mighty. Et Melech Ashur ve'et kol kvodo, the king of Assyria and all of his glory. It's not going to be good for you necessarily. Ve'ala al kol afikav, this mighty river called Assyria will flow. You ever see a video of a sort of a flash flood where it's really, really dangerous? It can, when you have a flash flood and there's a river, the river can overflow. That's what's going to happen when Assyria are going to take over and come. The Allah al kol afikav, the flood of Assyria is going to go on to all its banks. V'halach al kol gdotav, it's going to cover all of its banks. And this water is going to wash the Chalaf b'Yehuda shataf v'avar ad tzavar yagia. This mighty river, this overflow river, is going to come to Judea and it's going to reach you till your neck, ad tzavar yagia. V'hayam utot knafav, and the spread of its wings, melo rochav artzecha Immanuel. It's going to go all across your land, Immanuel, again referring to the son of Yishayahu, Immanuel. Ro amim b'chutu, and so he says this is what's about to happen. People of the world, sort of like people of the world, unite, gather together like Re'im, be friends. Ro amim b'chutu v'hazinu kol merchakei eretz hitazru b'chutu. Be careful, gather together, unite, because this is about to happen. Very famous pasuk, utzu eitzav etufar. You can come together with a great plan, but it's going to be undone. Dabru davar v'lo yakum. You can talk among each other, but it's not going to happen ki Immanuel, because God is with us, or alternatively because there's the child named Immanuel. Kiko amar Hashem elai kechizkata yad v'yisrani milechet b'derech ha'am hazeh lemor. Hashem says to me, be careful, even though things are going to be, you'll be saved, etc. Nonetheless, be careful. Do not be with the secessionists. Do not be with those who want to rebel against Chizkiyahu, which we're going to see later. There's a rebellion against Chizkiyahu. Don't go in that way. Lo tomrun kesher l'chol asher yomar am hazeh kesher. Do not go with the rebels, with Shevna, and the people of Chizkiyahu, even though you're the minority. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of all the people who are trying to have a coup and overthrow you, and they're going to say, oh, let's make a connection with the 10 tribes of the north. Stick to Chizkiyahu and the isolationist community of Judea. Et Hashem tzvakot oto takdishu v'hu morachem v'hu maritzchem. You should sanctify and glorify Hashem, your because He should be your awe, and that's it. The advice that Shevna gives, which is to undo the kingdom of David, that's going to be a bad idea. Mikdash does not mean holy in this case. It means it's going to be a prepared stumbling block. The idea of seceding from Chizkiyahu, going with others, that's not going to be a good idea. A lot of geopolitics here, right? So there's the people in Judea who want to go with Chizkiyahu, and then there's the people who want to go with Shevna and his ideas and the northern kingdom. Many people are going to stumble and go with this idea of Shevna. It's not a good idea. Hashem now says to Isaiah a new idea. Things are about to get tough, and what happens when things get tough? You look for, sources of comfort. You look for alliances, hobbies, other faith, whatever it is. Hashem says, don't fall for that. You stick with the Torah. You stick with what I am doing you. Isaiah says, even in those very troubling and tiring and testy times, I will wait for Hashem. I will wait to Hashem, who is hiding his face from the house of Jacob, and I will hope to Hashem. I and the children that Hashem has given me as a sign. Remember, Immanuel and Maher Shlal Chashbaz, which some say it's the same child. I am with them. I'm with the children that Hashem has given me. Hashem who dwells in the mountain of Zion. Now, I am worshiping Hashem, but is everybody else worshiping Hashem? Not necessarily. V'chi omru aleichem. Maybe others will tell you, Dirshu el ha'ovot ve'la'idonim ha'metzaftzefim ve'hamahagim. Go seek the idols that give you all kinds of ideas and predictions and sources of comfort. Go to the ovot and yidonim. Answer the people who tell you to go away from Hashem. No, every nation goes with its God. And who is our God? Our God is Hashem. La Torah v'la Teudah. Just like I said before, to the Torah and the testimony, the word of Hashem. Im lo yomru kadavar hazeh asher ein lo shachar. They'll be telling you these ridiculous things to go and worship idols. Don't listen. And then in Jerusalem, what's going to happen? The people who are struck with poverty and with harshness, they're going to be in a difficult situation. The people who go and worship idols, what do they do when things are tough? They immediately curse out their gods, curse out their idols. But if you serve Hashem, even when things are tough, you're always with Hashem. And the man who goes and worships idols, the man who goes and doesn't trust Hashem, like those who send people to Hoshea ben Elah or to the king of Egypt, which is what one of the kings of Judea is going to do, guess what? He's going to also find himself abandoned. Like the person who worships idols, the guy who goes with all these false hopes that Hoshea ben Elah did. Hoshea ben Elah, I believe, is the king of Israel. He's going to find himself in trouble. He'll see nothing. He'll see a tough time. That's what he will see. Because the king of Assyria, he is not tired, and it's for him to get your land. And forget about trying to get help. If you're the king of Israel, not going to help to send people to Egypt and ask the king of Egypt to help you and save you from Assyria. In fact, this exile is coming quickly first to the land of Zvulun, Naphtali, and the land of Naphtali. The last ones are going to leave through the ocean, through the Mediterranean. And the other side of Jordan is going to be Glila Goim. Rashi points out, what is Derech Hayam? Those who are sitting not the Mediterranean, but rather on the Sea of the Galilee, the Kinneret. They go. By the way, I go sometimes to northern Israel. The really, truly most beautiful places in the world I've seen there. But your heart breaks because you see the names Dan, Naphtali, Zvulun. You think about the 10 tribes. They were expelled from there 2,400 years ago. And that's this what we're talking about right now. So what did we have here? We had in this chapter in Perek Chet, we had the prophecy that lets people know, guess what's about to happen? Assyria is going to wash over. Judea will be saved by the very, very thin. It's going to be like almost destroyed, but saved. The water is going to go up to your neck. Even when you're in Judea, you'll be tempted to follow Shevna HaSofer and other people who wanted to secede from the king of Chizkiyahu. They wanted to make alliances with the northern kingdom of Israel. Don't go with that. Stay with the Chizkiyahu isolationism. Don't stick with Assyria. Don't stick with Aram, and don't stick with Israel. And to the king of Israel, we say, not going to work, not going to help if you go send people to Egypt. And Isaiah's son is called Maher Shlal Chashbaz because the plunder will come very soon, very quickly, faster than you know it. See you in next chapter.